Hi everyone, I'm Matthew Hidalgo. I'm this year's senior advisor, and I'm joined by Dr. Hirschfeld. Thank you so much for being here today.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure, Matt.
So, we want to get to know you a little bit better. Can you tell us about yourself and how long you've been a part of the program?
Sure. So my name is Matt Hirschfeld. I am originally from Cleveland, Ohio. I did my anesthesia training at St. Luke's Roosevelt in New York City, followed by pediatric anesthesiology fellowship at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. And I've been at the University of Rochester since 2016, and I've been program director since April of 2019, so about a year and a half.
Excellent. So, something else we want to know is what do you love most about your program?
Uh, you know, Absolutely, the number one thing I love most about this program are the people, and specifically the residents. And I think what's most special about our residents is that they come from really diverse and unique backgrounds. They come
Mm-hmm.
from all over the country and all over the world, from dynamic family backgrounds and geographic backgrounds, and they come with very unique and diverse interests and perspectives and experiences. And that leads to a very rich learning environment. Uh, and really, as a medical educator, you clearly learn a lot from interacting with learners at different levels. But outside of medicine and outside of anesthesiology, you really develop a much bigger perspective on the world from the perspectives and the experiences that our residents bring to the program. We really don't look for a particular mold
Mm-hmm.
from the residents that we recruit. Really looking for individuals who are going to come and help shape our program with their personalities and their interests and their experiences. And I think in conjunction with that, having a faculty of educators who also likewise come from diverse backgrounds and have a lot of diverse interests and experiences really leads to a community in our program, in our department, which is focused on the community and
Mm-hmm.
on being a family and being a really a, a family oriented group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it sounds like you have a close knit group. No, yeah, amazing. No, something else we'd also like to know is what's the most unique aspect of your program?
Sure. So I think there are two really unique aspects about our program. So we have a integrated categorical residency program
Mm-hmm.
for almost 10 years now, and what that means is uh, our residents come to the University of Rochester as clinical base year residents, as interns. They spend 4 years within our department, and we have an early. Our residents enter the operating rooms and start their clinical anesthesia experience during their clinical base year.
Oh, wow.
And they don't just do a month or 6 weeks. Our residents spend 4 months or more of their clinical base year training in clinical anesthesia. In fact, our first group of clinical base year residents just completed their 7-week OR orientation and are already working under general supervision in the operating room. And then the second group of clinical base year residents will start their OR orientation towards the end of December. So our anesthesia program is focused on early clinical anesthesia experience, and in addition to that, is focused on educating perioperative physicians.
Mm-hmm.
And the way we do that is in those months of the clinical base year, which normally would be spent doing 4 rotations in medicine or surgery or other specialties, are delayed into the CA1 and CA2 years and are paired with anesthesia subspecialties which to emphasize perioperative medicine. So to give you an example, take neuroanesthesia as an anesthesia subspecialty. Our residents spend 2 weeks on the neurology floors, and then 2 weeks with neurophysiologists, leading into their neuroanesthesia 1 rotation. And then later on, in anesthesia training, after they complete neuroanesthesia 2 rotation, they'll then go and do a month in the neuro ICU. So they really get that complete picture of the perioperative period. Similarly, pediatric anesthesia is paired with pediatric surgery. Cardiac anesthesia is paired with cardiology. And we're working on introducing some other ICU rotations to pair with, to juxtapose with those rotations as well, to build that perioperative experience. So I think that's one of the big ways in which we are unique. The other unique aspect of our program is that we offer non-clinical residency tracks. So the University of Rochester offers master's degrees in medical education, in medical management, in business management, in translational research, in public health, and our residents are able to participate in those master's programs. There is a significant tuition benefit that all University of Rochester employees are entitled to, and covers, I think, 95% of the tuition for those programs. And we help the residents schedule their clinical schedule to allow them to attend courses and complete their exams and their course projects. And there are several faculty members in our department who have interests in these areas or have completed these master's programs themselves and serve as mentors and help these residents develop scholarly projects for their master's programs.
Absolutely. Those are a lot of unique aspects. And I just want to say congratulations to those first years who just finished the 7-week course. That's a big milestone for them.
Absolutely.
So something else we want to know, since we can't travel, is what do you love most about Rochester?
So Rochester is just an unbelievable part of this country, which is really, I think, underappreciated. We're in the Finger Lakes region of Western New York, and there are just so many outdoor opportunities throughout the year. And I think I'm not from Rochester originally, and one of the things, but I did grow up in a cold weather area. And one of the things that surprised me when I came to Rochester was just really, even in the middle of winter, seeing Rochesterians outdoors, enjoying the weather, enjoying the snow, skiing and cross country skiing and skating and sledding and building forts and ice fishing and doing all sorts of winter activities. But really, there are just numerous parks and lakes, and there's really something for everybody here.
Absolutely. So the next part of the interview is going to transition to the residency application itself. So the first question is, how do you weigh the different aspects of a residency application to determine who to interview?
Sure. Unfortunately, just with the sheer number of applications that we receive throughout the interview season, there has to be some metric that we use to at least initially narrow down the applicant pool. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, as with most programs, that's the USMLE 1 Step 1 score. But we certainly look also at the Step 2 score. We everybody's human, everybody's entitled to having a bad day, and so we really consider those with equal weight. And that's, I think, as with most programs, that's our initial weeding out process. But we very strongly believe in recruiting well-rounded residents to our program. And so we really do look at the complete application. So we're looking at extracurricular experiences and non-medical related activities, significant encounters with mentors as demonstrated through letters of recommendation, or powerful experiences as described in personal statements. Applicants is an interest, a connection or an interest to Western New York. So even if your scores might be a bit low, or you think that there might be a weakness in your application, I certainly strongly suggest that if you're interested in us, if you're interested in our curriculum or being in Rochester, New York, that you reach out to our coordinator via email and express your interest to us. And that's a very powerful way to get your application seen and screened.
Absolutely. And in a little while, people are going to get interview invites from your program, and they might be watching this video to prep. So how do you weigh these very brief interactions to compose your rank order list?
The interviews and really the entire body of interactions throughout the recruitment season are the most heavily weighted aspect of the rank order process for our program. More than individuals who have high intellectual quotient, we want residents who are emotionally intelligent and curious. And so these traits, I think, can be easily expressed even in a brief interaction during an interview, and especially in conjunction with the other aspects of the ARIS application that I've mentioned previously.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your insight. Something else we want to know is that, in March, people are going to master your program. They're going to be super excited, but they're also going to be wondering, how are they going to do well? So what makes a successful resident at your program?
I think for a resident to be successful, we're looking for somebody who's going to be engaged in their learning and who's going to take ownership and be curious. Mm-hmm. We are, as a program, really receptive to the ideas of our trainees. And we're trying to continuously improve and develop our program. And after all, the motto of the University of Rochester is Meliora, which means ever better. And that's what we strive for, is to get better every year. Our program, our curriculum is rarely exactly the same 2 years in a row. And our residents really drive those improvements and those changes over time based on their feedback. So we're looking for residents who are going to take ownership, not just of their learning, but really want to take ownership of the program and be a part of building this program and making it better for the future.
Excellent. So our last question is geared more towards the first through third year medical students. What advice do you have for them going forward?
In anesthesiology, we have a lot of fancy toys that feed and have lines and give us a lot of really important information about the patients and keep them safe. But unfortunately, a side effect of that is that people frequently forget the basic physical exam and observational skills, which are just so key to treating patients, no matter where you are, but especially in the operating room. So in addition, despite all the information that all those monitors and machines give us, we frequently have to make split-second decisions with lacking essential pieces of information that we need. And so I think if you're a third-year medical student and you have time, or you're still trying to decide, I think some important activities that you can get engaged in are really just focusing on rotations that are going to improve your physical exam and observational skills, and that could be internal medicine, subspecialties like cardiology or pulmonology, family medicine, or even psychiatry. And I think another activity or rotation or learning activity that you can get involved with if your medical school offers it is like art history or um, medical humanities type courses that really focus on the art of observation, which can help improve your physical exam skills.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much on behalf of the ASA-MSC Governing Council for sharing all the great aspects of your program and your heartfelt advice. It's very much appreciated.
Thank you. It was very nice to meet you, Matt, and I look forward to meeting many of you throughout the interview process.